I've known ever since I was a little girl that I was going to come to the University of Iowa.
I've always been a Hawkeye fan my entire life.
I knew that this was a place that I could thrive and really get involved.
I wanted to make sure that if I chose a college campus, I wasn't just a college kid invading the town for 9 months of the year. I really wanted to feel incorporated with downtown life and on campus.
It's really inviting and welcoming. And also we have so many award-winning trees. Nobody talks about the trees. I talk about the trees though.
Being a Hawkeye to me means being a part of a greater whole, but it also means your family.
Everyone here is so creative and talented.
I think the saying like, once a Hawkeye, always a Hawkeye is so true.
You just really get that sense of camaraderie.
It's like having a hug that will never let go and will carry on with you throughout the rest of your life.
The community that I felt here has just been awesome for all 4 years and really something that I've enjoyed being a part of.
For me, it's family, it's community, it's the Iowa Wave, Caitlin Clark.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
40 years from now, I'm gonna be like, well, I technically knew her by association.
My earliest memory was going to an Iowa football game.
The Penn State-Iowa game, where we knocked off Penn State. That's probably my favorite. Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
It really has been this Iowa community that has pushed me to just try everything, to be bigger than what I thought I could be when I first came to Iowa.
You can have an impact on people and you might not even realize it, even from the little things that you do, just like saying hi to people and getting to know them, to like leading Dance Marathon and raising $1.45 million.
There's something so magical about the University of Iowa. Everyone that you'll meet is willing to talk to you, everyone's willing to help you. Everyone wants to see the best for you.
Thank you to my parents. They have believed in me, they've supported me, they've listened to me.
I'm a first-generation student, so my parents made a lot of sacrifices for me to go to college, and so I really appreciate them.
You're my biggest support system and my rock.
I get like emotional talking about it.
Thanks to my sister and my brother-in-law for also being really supportive to me throughout all of college, especially when Dance Marathon came around. It was really great to have you guys.
Thank you to my sister Sasha for sitting through this commencement ceremony.
Thank you so much to the faculty and other mentors here on campus who helped shape me as an artist and shape my professional career.
You guys mean more to me than you will ever know, and I cherish you all and love you all very deeply.
Gathered family and friends, if you are able, please rise for the academic procession. Candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree from the Tippie College of Business have gathered to celebrate commencement. All are in their places. These proceedings are hereby called to order. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the Tippie College of Business and Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship, Amy Christoph Brown.
I always have to move this a little bit. Thank you, Senior Associate Dean Thomas. Good evening. On behalf of the Tippie College of Business and the University of Iowa, I welcome all of you, graduating seniors, family members, friends, faculty, and staff of the college, to this commencement in this meaningful space, Carver Hawkeye Arena. After this recent basketball season, I think this is a very fitting place to hold our ceremony. It reminds us of all that we have to be proud of at the University of Iowa, and today we are especially proud of you, the 2024 Tippie College of Business graduating seniors. Just a few short weeks ago, this arena was filled with cheering, clapping, tears, shouts of joy, fist pumping, jumping up and down, hugging. I hope that we feel it that way today as well. As graduates, you may be feeling emotions that range from excitement to relief, exhilaration to exhaustion, and anticipation to apprehension about what comes next. But one thing I hope that you're feeling today is proud. All of you who are here today certainly accomplished something special. We are so proud of this class of 2024. Many of you as students started in fall of 2020, earning the title of COVID freshman. Going to college always takes courage and commitment, but choosing to come during the fall of 2020 required even more, both from families and from students. I thank you for putting your trust in us and recognizing that no matter what the world was going to deliver, you were ready to take control and work toward your desired future. Your class is featured in this spring's Tippie magazine as a class that majored in resilience. The lessons learned for making forward progress while the world seems to be pushing you backwards are ones that will travel with you always. Thank you to everyone here today who supported these students. All of you in the audience should be very proud of all you have done to help your graduate accomplish their goals and be here today. Your guidance, understanding, and compassion, your faith in their abilities, and your love and support have all been critical to their success. For what you have done to help these graduates, we thank you. Before proceeding further, I would like to introduce you to the faculty and invited guests joining us today to honor our graduates as they earn their degrees. Please stand when I introduce you. Joining me on the platform today, Alexandra Nika, Associate Professor of Instruction and Director of Undergraduate Studies in Economics, David Stubing, Associate Professor of Instruction and Accounting, Kang Zhao, Department Executive Officer, Henry B. Tippie Research Fellow in Business Analytics and Professor of Business Analytics, Charles Keene, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Program and Professor of Instruction of Marketing, Barry Thomas, Senior Associate Dean, and Gary C. Fethke, Professor in Business Analytics. J. Martin Schultz, Vice President for Research and Professor of Microchemistry and Molecular Biology. Dustin Godsey, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. Rob Rowenhurst, Associate Professor of Instruction of Marketing and Tippie Senate Faculty of the Year. Michael McCourt, Professor of Practice in Finance, Michelle Williams, Henry B. Tippie Research Fellow in Entrepreneurship and Associate Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship. Tippie faculty and staff serving as marshals, seated with our graduates, are Christina Bigsby. Please stand when I call your name. Christina Bigsby, lecturer and director of undergraduate studies in business analytics. Ian Crawford, Henry B. Tippie Research Fellow and Associate Professor of Practice in Management and Entrepreneurship. Greg Hall, lecturer of accounting. Sarah Frank, lecturer of economics. Brent Pritchard, lecturer of finance. And Tom Walsh, Associate Professor of Practice and Director of Undergraduate Studies in Marketing. Thank you all for joining us today. I would also like to give special thanks and recognition to the members of the Iowa Brass Quintet. On trumpets, Michael Gauss and Kevin Sells. On horn, Keely Cruz. On trombone, Jonathan Allen. And on tuba, Xiaoyu Lu. All of these proceedings will be interpreted by Robin Heiken. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dustin Godsey. Dustin is in his 12th season with the Milwaukee Bucks, his first as Chief Sales and Marketing Officer after serving 7 seasons as the Chief Marketing Officer. In his role, Godsey oversees the team's marketing and advertising, ticket sales and service, strategy and analytics, and broadcasting and live events production, as well as the marketing of Fiserv Forum, the team's world-class arena in downtown Milwaukee and the surrounding Deer District neighborhood. During his tenure, he has built an award-winning team that has overseen a number of high-profile projects, including the team's acclaimed rebrand in 2015, and was named on Business Insider's 2022 list of the most innovative CMOs, and the Business Journal's Influencers Rising Stars list in 2018. He was also a Leaders in Sports Leaders Under 40 winner. Prior to joining the Bucks, Godsey spent 7 years with Spectra Venue Services, most recently as the Regional Marketing Director, where he was responsible for all event marketing and public relations efforts at Philadelphia's Wells Fargo Center and Spectra's managed facilities throughout the Northeast. He is a 2002 graduate of the University of Iowa with degrees from the Tippie College of Business, a BBA in marketing, and the School of Journalism and Mass Communications, a BA in journalism. Please welcome Dustin to the podium.
Good evening, class of 2024, and thank you, Dean Christoph Brown, for really the humbling invitation to be a part of this tonight. It is, I really can't begin the remarks without talking about how surreal it is to be standing here speaking to all of you. As someone who spent the vast majority of the last 20 years in arenas, you might think that this feels like another day at the office, but I assure you nothing could be further from the truth. And as I was sitting where you were back in 2002, I never dreamed, that as a kid who grew up 45 minutes from here in Anamosa, that 10 years from when I was sitting there, that I'd get my dream job running a marketing department for an NBA team. I never would have imagined that I could have met Paul McCartney. I never would have imagined I would work a Stanley Cup final. I never would have imagined that I would plan an NBA championship parade. But I definitely couldn't have imagined that my path would have ever led me to speaking with you today. And I can tell you, judging from my wife's reaction just a couple months ago when I told her I got this invitation, she still can't believe it. So, as I began thinking about what pearls of wisdom I could possibly pass along to you, the class of 2024, at the conclusion of your undergraduate careers, my mind kept coming back to really the questions I get asked anytime after I speak to any crowd. It doesn't matter the subject, it doesn't matter, who's in the crowd, how expertly or usually inexpertly I delivered my remarks. But I pretty much always get the same 3 questions. The first one, do you know Giannis? I do. Number 2, did you get a championship ring? Well, not only did I get one, but I got to help design it. And the third one is how did you get to where you are today? That one seems like it might at least be a little bit pertinent to what we're all gathered here today to do. So unfortunately, it's also the question that I don't have a great answer for. Now, I could give you a literal reading of my resume. Dean Christoph Brown already did that. Those of you who stalked me on LinkedIn would be kind of redundant. You know, I think most of you are probably, who the hell is this guy? Why is he speaking? But joking aside, this really is the question at the core of what we're here for today. While tonight's a celebration of your success and all the hard work it took to get here, it is my contractual obligation in this role to remind you that by definition, a commencement is actually the start of a new journey. Now, I'm sure many of you are sitting there feeling much like I did the last time I had one of these gowns on too many years ago. Nervous, excited, maybe like I was a little bit lost. Looking around the room, falsely believing that everybody has everything figured out and wondering which lecture it was that you skipped, not that any of you skipped any lectures, where they handed out the manual as to what to do next. Which brings us back to the question at hand. How did I get to where I am? And more importantly, how do you get to where you're going? The answer is, I started, and now you start. So take a moment to look around at all the talented, brilliant peers gathered around you at the starting line. If you grew up playing the board game Life, as I did, you know that what you're going to do is you're going to walk up here, you're going to get handed your diploma, and then you're going to turn the corner, you're going to race to the end to beat all your opponents to that millions of dollars in the house in the country at the end of the game board. But what the game of life doesn't actually teach you is that in real life, the people seated around you aren't your opponents. They're not your competitors at all. While you may be all gathered here at the same starting line, each of you is running your own race. You all have a different pace, different goal, a different route altogether. Some of you may immediately walk into that dream job that you've hoped for, which, great for you. Some of you may get out of the blocks and realize you want to run a completely different race. Parents may not want to hear this, but I say go for it. Now, some of you, 6 months from now, may find yourself fired from your cashier job at Best Buy, moving into your future in-law's house. That one I don't recommend, but it can work out all right too. The point is, each of your journeys will be unique. Things can always change, and things will change. Now, I don't have to tell this class how quickly things can change to blow you off that course. I'd venture to guess the beginning of your time here in Iowa City wasn't quite like you imagined your college experience would be. But you guys showed up, you persevered, you showed that resilience, and with the distance afforded by time, you'll look back on it and realize what a crowning accomplishment that is. But I promise you the world's not done throwing things at you. They may not all be shut the whole world down sort of things, but every day will place hurdles in front of you that you couldn't have seen coming. Some you'll clear with ease, some will surprise you, and I hate to tell you, but some of them you're going to handle completely the wrong way, and that's all right. And it's for that final reason that in my office above my desk, I keep a framed piece of artwork from an artist named Mike Montero that simply says, let's make better mistakes tomorrow. And that's a reminder for myself every day and for all those who see it that now that you've started, the only thing left to do is keep going. So with that, it's my true honor to congratulate you, the Tippie College of Business class of 2024, on all of your accomplishments and welcome you to your starting line. Good luck, go Hawks, and Bucks and Six forever.
Thank you, Dustin, for your inspiring remarks. The business world expects great things from Tippie graduates, and from what I know of them, our graduates have what it takes to exceed and meet those expectations. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Mackenzie Turner. Mackenzie, if you'll join me on the stage, please. Mackenzie Turner is from Waukee, Iowa, and is graduating with a BBA in Finance and a minor in English. Throughout her tenure as a Tippie student, she demonstrated a strong commitment to diversity, serving as a Black in Business ambassador and a Gateway mentor. Academically, her dedication to excellence earned her membership in the Tippie Business Honor Society and Beta Gamma Sigma. Recognized as one of Tippie's top 21 high-achieving student leaders, Mackenzie also actively participated in Delta Sigma Pi Business Fraternity and Kappa Kappa Gamma Sorority. Post-graduation, she will embark on her professional journey as an analyst at Wells Fargo's Charlotte office. Mackenzie.
Thank you, Dean Keene. To my fellow graduates and esteemed guests, I ask, why is it so difficult to begin? A blank page or canvas should beckon innovation, creativity, and magic, but instead is often met with trepidation and anxiety. A daunting deadline should encourage planning and focus, but instead brings procrastination. It is so difficult to begin, to push aside fear to pursue the uncertain, unabashedly, with bravery and intent. There should be fun in the uncomfortable and the unpredictability of what is to come. It should inspire, it should challenge. Why do we question ourselves until the fear of failing overwhelms the fear of not trying? Why do we cower until the fear of challenges triumphs the fear of stagnancy? Truthfully, we are seasoned professionals at beginning. If we compiled a resume of each time we have started over and tried again, it would be much longer than the standard one page. But for me at least, my ability to begin started with my mom. My mother doesn't fear beginnings, and she has taught me to do the same. My mom is a tenured school teacher, a woman who has encouraged me to be a passionate learner. But her teaching extends far beyond the classroom. It is her ability to begin without hesitating that truly inspires. Being from Birmingham, Alabama, the thought of moving to Iowa for my dad's job seemed impossible. She left everything behind, her roots, her community, an entire family to start one of her own. While my father pursued his career, my mother relentlessly worked on making Iowa home. In a city where we received cautious looks and were the only Black family for miles, my mother zipped our coats and sent us to school. She signed us up for every club and sport, passionate in us finding spaces that made us feel seen and heard. The woman who made the cornfields and the cold weather seem like a grand adventure and has made the state of Iowa a place I can call home. Her willingness to begin has in turn provided 3 lessons that have allowed me to begin with intent. The first, she told me as COVID began, even if the odds are low, begin anyway. As students in the class of 2024, we are well aware of false starts. COVID stalled our senior year of high school and brought uncertainty to our freshman year. All the firsts of college were under the scrutiny of the pandemic, and we were in constant worry of having it all pulled away. But we began our college journey anyway. Despite masks in class, social distancing, and the fear of the unknown, we took our next steps. We took microeconomics over Zoom, we spread out our desks, and even carried pocket-sized hand sanitizer. But even then, we were eager to learn. There were breakout rooms of silence for group projects, icebreaker after icebreaker, and constant calls from our parents asking if we were experiencing any symptoms. But ultimately, despite the obstacles, beginning anyway is what set us on our path, leading us here. That brings us to our second lesson. Remember, everyone begins somewhere. While some of us may have tested out a couple of majors, others who came in with a bunch of credits, and there are those who might even be graduating early. We are united in that there was a moment when we were novices. There was a first time walking into Tippie, whether that was a tour by your favorite BSAO or your first day of class. There was the first time you saw it, the first time you experienced it. There was the first time you saw a T account and the moment where we actually figured out how to use it. There was the first time you walked into W10 and the time you've a designated area where you sit. There was the first time you go to the quiet zone and the finals week where you are the last one there. But somewhere between the first moments and our last ones when we graduate, Tippie becomes so much more. Somewhere in between, the Biz Hub is not just a magical place with cool chairs, but where our friends from marketing meet. Somewhere in between, the UPO is not just where you make your schedule, but where you catch up with your counselor. Somewhere in between, Caitlin Clark goes from being a student in your management class to being a superstar basketball player. Tippie is all of these in-between moments that culminate into one. There is both a first moment and a last, and somewhere in between the two, we grow. Finally, the third lesson, and maybe, just maybe, the most important: enjoy not knowing where this beginning will take you. While the idea of beginning may cause trepidation because you're unsure where this step may lead, it is integral to know that this is the magic. If we had known that the interpretation of literature class would turn into an English minor, or the accounting class you struggled in would ultimately become your double major, or finally, the BCAT presentation would lead you to become this year's commencement speaker, would we have walked into those classrooms, those spaces, those opportunities differently? Each of these moments were steps in our trajectory to ultimately become who we are today, students at the precipice of graduation. And look at us, we are finally here. Soak it all in, the precious air of today. Cherish the idea that even if our next beginning seems impossible, we have proven that we are bound to find success. Now, I'd like to take a moment to address anyone unsure of their next beginning. Beginning can seem tremendous in some respects because of the fear of failure. If we step off the ledge, the fall can appear to be damaging. But this continuous cycle of beginning should be a reminder that we can always start again. Whenever things seem too imposing, we must acknowledge that we have faced difficult beginnings before, many often leading to unforeseen triumph. As we leave this ceremony and reminisce about college stories, I am sure many of us will have a moment where we fearfully contemplate what comes next. But I implore you to remember that despite their daunting nature, beginnings are merely a step. Our future is a blank page, eager to be written. But these next pages deserve our best. Not our worry, not our fear, but the very courage and resilience that has made us college graduates sitting here today. Let's write our story boldly and begin, fearlessly, powerfully, and with intent. Our next beginning is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie, and I think we can say thank you to all our moms for those beginnings. At this time, Senior Associate Dean Thomas and I would like to recognize several student honors and achievements. Each year, Delta Sigma Pi awards the scholarship key to the graduating senior with the highest grade point average. This year's award is presented to Ethan Fairfield. Ethan is receiving a BBA in Economics and Finance and a minor in Philosophy. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ethan. The Tippie College of Business awards degrees with highest distinction to students in the highest 2% of the graduating class, with high distinction to students in the next highest 3%, and with distinction to students in the next 5%. Distinction is designated by gold stars worn on the left sleeve. As I call each group of students, please rise to be recognized. Audience, I ask that you hold your applause. Will those graduating with highest distinction please stand? Will those graduating with high distinction please stand? And will those graduating with distinction please stand? Congratulations. We would also like to recognize the students who are graduating with honors in their major and university honors. Will those graduating with honors please stand? Membership in Beta Gamma Sigma is the highest recognition a business student can earn. To be eligible for membership, students' individual academic ranking must place them in the upper 10% of the junior class or in the upper 10% of the senior class. Would the students graduating as members of Beta Gamma Sigma please stand? Congratulations. And finally, we also recognize students who undertook 4 or more multiple hands-on learning experiences through the Tippie Rise program. Would students graduating with 4 or more Tippie Rise experiences please stand? Congratulations.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration please rise? Vice President Schultz, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Business Administration and are recommended to you by the faculty of the Henry B. Tippie College of Business for the conferring of this degree.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Henry B. Tippie College of Business and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer on each of you the degree Bachelor of Business Administration as qualified and designated.
Congratulations. You are now college graduates. Please be seated. Charles Keene, our Associate Dean of the Undergraduate Program, and Michelle Williams, Associate Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship, will now recognize the graduates individually. Will the marshals please begin leading the graduates forward to be recognized?
Okay, great. Yep. Yes, I'll go like this.
No problem. Heen Kim Tran.
Georgina Louise Bell with University Honors.
Amy Viet Hoon. with university honors with high distinction.
Rashawn Hoffman.
Evan Vincent DeVries with highest distinction.
Ben Lloyd Harrison.
Alexandra Ann Zeglin with university honors.
William John Cianella.
Brooke Lynn Bauer.
Sergey Ajay Morjani.
McKenna Taylor Matson.
David M. Queenie with university honors and with highest distinction.
Lily Grace Becker.
Ethan James Fairfield with university honors with highest distinction.
Kaylee Ann Burns.
Mackenzie Reese Turner with highest distinction.
Megan Mercedes Lang.
Wade Patrick Stafford.
Titloy Ortiz Ahaila.
Ryan Gerard.
Froso Koni Dees.
Mark Stephen Schultz.
Kayla Rott.
Liam Martin McElligott.
Jenna Starr.
Justin Michael Quast.
Caden Christensen.
Michael Anthony Olson.
Ryan James Gamble.
Nicholas Robert Engelhalter.
Madeline J. Lugren.
James Michael Fairley with highest distinction.
Lindsay Ann Langlois.
Jackson Frank Timble.
Mariah Grace Beeger.
Spencer Thomas Wheatland.
Alexa Victoria Mitchell.
Joseph Lawrence Aubrey.
Lauren K. Wegman.
Patrick G. O'Malley.
Allie Rude.
Benjamin Robert Casentio.
Elsie Vandale.
Hunter Thomas Gibson.
Morgan Ann Powers.
Hunter Gabriel Denson.
Samuel Van Jingel.
Heather Lynn Tustin.
Justice Sullivan.
James Joseph Clark with highest distinction.
Ryan Michael Costco.
Maxwell Joseph Madsen.
Lucas Gilbertson.
Tyson Russell.
Ella Rose Smith.
Grace Cross.
Tanner David Christ.
Sydney Hearn with high distinction.
Joseph Michael Metzulik.
Anna Marie Bauer.
Jake Lawrence Upagard.
Aubrey Ann Roble with university honors and with high distinction.
Ryan James Schlesinger.
Christian Dennis Hernandez.
Benjamin Gary Olson.
Nicholas Joseph Watson.
Daniel John Paul.
Chandler James Gannon with University Honors.
Adam Joseph Masello.
Brian Patrick Berger with distinction.
Gabriel Davin Kilpatrick, Honors in Business Analytics and Information Systems with University Honors.
Alex Ben Conrad with distinction.
Alexis Marie Farnsworth.
Grace King Harris.
Benjamin Kruna.
Hannah Morgan Struby.
Swaithuthtu Nu Gun Tao.
Keely Celeste Schaefer.
Uana Hong Iam.
Angelina Bodie.
Sarah Feng Fan.
Macy Joe Argis with high distinction.
Lisa Lee with University Honors with highest distinction.
Lena Bella Branch with University Honors.
Joel Isaac Castillo.
Samantha Susan Buell with University Honors.
Brooke Robin Nicholson.
Grayson Sophia Kilburn.
Patricia Catherine Wozniak.
Reagan Elizabeth Day with University Honors and with highest distinction.
Caitlin Elaine Clausen with highest distinction.
Molly Ann Siebenaller with University Honors and with highest distinction.
Michael Patrick Morin with highest distinction.
Nathan Robert Bieber.
Joseph Kim.
Matthew R. Rawling.
Lucas Bradley Hayes.
Nathan James Kumiga.
Sydney Elizabeth Truex with high distinction.
Alex David Lamberand.
Hannah Noel Shade with highest distinction.
Kyle Matthew Tapia.
Laura Lee Ann Ball with highest distinction.
Andrew Justin Berryhill.
Cecily Johnston with high distinction.
Sierra Alexis Steigerwald.
Madeline Mary Brown Beshen.
Reese Randall Reinderneck.
Cale Robert John Hollenrake.
Cooper Lee Kraus.
Carter Andrew Barnes.
Mason Yiggy.
Bridget Uwasi Muego.
Cale Thorson.
Gino Tankolit II.
Riley Brannon McWilson.
Nikita Nallor with University Honors.
Tiffany Joe Bullard.
Safi Izildine Sigdin.
Logan Korth Callison.
Jacqueline Raquel Bass.
Noah Willard.
Alan Royce Lee with University Honors with distinction.
Alejandro Mejia.
Wua Yang Zhang.
Matthew Hendricks Duttler.
Stella Lowe.
Ryan Martin Kim.
Rylan Todd Combs.
Matthew Craig Brunelli.
Alexander Farron.
Nicholas Michael Butzler.
Nate Neasley.
Finnegan Jack Pressel.
Jake Michael DeGroot.
James Allen Edwards.
Tanner Peckney.
Jeffrey Alexander Unterberg with distinction.
Francis Blake Sorleen Swears.
Jonathan Peter Mincelli II.
Andrew King Stewart.
Tanner Davidson.
John Cavan Smith.
Brock Downing Coatney.
Elu Udim Yoon. Honors in Management with University Honors.
Trevor Ungas.
Haley Marie Terraze.
Abigail Rashawn Thorin.
El Emanuela Rashid.
Ignacio Gomez.
Reed Lewis Fazuki with University Honors with Distinction.
Daniel Stewart Lapham.
Zachary David Lentz.
Joseph Timothy Delcado.
Joseph Michael Mendoza.
Rebecca Marie Edmondson with highest distinction.
Andrew Tyler Koopman.
Maria Detzel Hallenbeck with University Honors.
Nathan Herkelman with University Honors.
Daniel Alexander Cleish.
Abigail Merrick David with high distinction.
Brendan McIntyre Fauble.
Madeline Dacus Canny.
Emily Ann Cheeseman.
Emma Maingarelli with University Honors with high distinction.
Aubrey Marie Dahlner.
Maria Kirscher with University Honors with highest distinction.
Nathan Andrew Balecki.
Elijah Jaron Dale with high distinction.
Drew Juran with University Honors, Honors in Management, and highest distinction.
Alexander James Letsky.
Austin Spooner.
Owen Thomas Hensley.
Ella Grace Dixon.
Logan Myra Kempf.
Carrie Glimko.
Sarah Marie Lockridge.
Mackenzie Lynn Mackey.
Benton James Reno.
Justin David Skurzlowski.
Lauren Margaret Sharp with distinction.
Lauren Olivia Welp with University Honors and highest distinction.
Gianna Rose Narduli with university honors with distinction.
Benjamin Maxwell Dent with distinction.
Jacob Joseph Zenenz.
Madeline Pittan.
Isabella Caddy Smith with highest distinction.
Melissa Claire Markeski with university honors.
Marissa Virginia Vasilevich.
Josh Fowler.
Sloan Reed Kipley.
Noah James Hayton.
Wei Ching Lim with highest distinction.
Ryan Roach.
Reagan Henderson.
Nuvea Leanne Wagoner.
Jake Charles Mater.
Sai-Ching Kong.
Dominic Christian Riley.
Sean Patrick O'Brien.
Eric William Rude.
Kinsey Beebe.
Coyne Donald Burns.
Madison Marie Anderson.
Alexa Marina Bowman.
Paige Riley Freddie.
Anna Hamling.
Cassidy Ray Goodland with high distinction.
Kylie Jo Fierbach.
Bella Kozlowski with distinction.
Elizabeth Leah Eisenberg.
Cole Phillips.
Eleanor Grace Goodman.
Taylor Noel Ackerman.
Cody Michael Anderson with university honors with high distinction.
Colin Michael Triplett with high distinction.
Caden Robert Mager.
Ross Gregory Clausen with highest distinction.
Jack Ibees.
Samuel John Sepker with highest distinction.
Bradley J. Fryermuth.
Parker James Denning.
Taylor Ashley Panico.
Ravi Patel.
Alyssa Victoria Kilgallen.
Christopher Charles Bishop with high distinction.
Molly Catherine Cox.
Thomas Stefkin.
Lindsay Bolton.
Isaac James Walsh.
Alyssa Marie Lanzon.
Michael Rosler Walsey Jr.
Isabella Juliana Bernard.
Vincent Anthony Barlow.
Andrew Thomas Lux.
Cal Kunert.
James Michael Lally.
Abez Karafili.
Evan Joachim Kloss.
Ozan Dugan.
Joshua Charles Hunter with highest distinction.
Logan Nuri.
Evan Quinton Stewart.
Joey Lagman with university honors.
Meredith Grace Vorwork.
Caitlin Jean Clemens.
Sarah Elizabeth Howell.
Benjamin Mark Kisting.
Laura Zella Sitz with University Honors.
Tyler James DuPont.
Sabina Maria Reese.
Kyle Gavin McClune with University Honors and the highest distinction.
Amelia Josephine Balk with University Honors with distinction.
Tony Joseph Lyon with University Honors and distinction.
Julia Faith Lee Saul.
Lindsay Grace Caldwell.
Paige Marie Washburn.
Chloe Marie Anderson.
Colton James Victor.
Isabella Sienna Bogasic.
Amelia Zebra.
Jared Joseph Shamelka.
Megan Catherine Wilcoxon.
Jacob Patrick Dunham.
Serena Doucette Young.
Joshua Richard Hansen.
Alexis Lynn Pomernakas.
Brandon M. Savanto.
Lauren Taylor Bredenson.
Diego Ramirez.
Caitlin Irene Meyer with University Honors with high distinction.
Caden Koltoff.
Paige Alexandra Bennett.
Eva Hill.
Krista Usore.
Anna K. Harris.
Cody Dennis Slagter.
Abby Coidy.
Alexander Wesley Tylen.
Callista Nicole Bruno with distinction.
Cullen Ryan Shriver with highest distinction.
Jake Gehrig Hurley.
Bradley James Robert Veet.
Rebecca Marjorie Golinsky.
Haley Renee Espinoza.
William John Berg.
Peter Ross Osborne.
Janetta Sabin.
Michael Jonathan Capel.
Natalie Ann Bowl.
Jack Nathaniel Wall.
Brandon Joe Block.
Jacob Matthew Washek.
Gustavo Lichtenberger.
Isabella Marie Backus.
Logan Dennis Frond.
Aiden Janine Early.
Lucas John Thompson.
Anika Britt Jamelin.
Brady M. Hewitt.
Alexis Marie Rosendahl.
Abigail May Wagner.
Carl Jose Olson.
Madeline Alexis Doyle.
Caroline Jean Peavy.
Ethan Russell Paul.
Anna Marie McDonald.
Hannah Lorianne Bergen with distinction.
Grace Catherine Stuffelbeam with highest distinction.
Heather Hope Kraus.
Lauren Elizabeth Daly.
Emerson K. Grove.
Alexander Rudensek.
McKenna Paige Beasley.
Braden Samuel Haas.
Cambry Ann McBride.
Lucas John Pieper.
Isabella Joy Heltmach with distinction.
Alex Sobravillo.
Madeline Marguerite Rigdon.
Dryden Dorsey.
Alana Lorraine Billick.
Ryan Ritter.
Oh, that was on purpose. Alexa Tess Cohen.
Hannah Cecilia Hinkle.
Olivia Marie Vinci.
Olivia Isabella Martinson.
Gypsy Ann Russ.
Olivia Opat.
Tate Joseph Westoff.
Madison Elizabeth Stanfield.
William L. Cheng.
Carson Manning Merriman.
Wyatt Michael James.
Emma Grace Becker.
Casey Lewis Chignowly.
Michael Greenhill.
William John Kirschbaum.
Jesse William Rowe.
Brandon Kane.
David Joseph Malfisi.
Patrick John Melia.
Henry Paul Bobby.
Sophia Zoe Havens.
Hudson King.
Bailey Humblett.
Kyle Edward Jonigak.
Alex Powell Bean.
Evan Michael Listick.
Robert Clarence Lopez.
Owen Michael Douglas.
Andres Benjamin Guevara.
Elizabeth K. Blewett with University Honors.
Aiden Matthew Rapier.
Cassandra Lynn Peach.
Nana Afria Jr.
Livy M. Osgood.
Lydia Ann Huntington.
Autumn Genesis Rodeffer.
Nicholas Patrick Messalero.
Shara Sue Whalen.
Sean Zimmerman.
Claire Olivia McDermott.
Evan Muriel.
Eva Jean Rasmere.
Catherine Grace Jarnigan with highest distinction.
Samantha Santana.
Kira Amaya Price with University Honors and highest distinction.
Connor Williams.
Caitlin Marie Glosser.
Nathan Paul Thompson.
Bryce Sean Cox.
Jacob Robin.
Taylor Lynn Robertson.
Ryan Lechtenberg.
Grace Ellen Tomlin.
Caleb Yoder.
Cameron Ray Ingersoll.
Trevor Thomas Bottom.
Kennedy Sophia Scott with highest distinction.
Cameron Stephen Domke.
Casey Philip Daniel.
Eli Pincel.
Nolan Pattison with distinction.
Dylan Charles Miller.
Robert Kane Jepson with University Honors and Distinction.
Drew Davis Jones.
Nicholas Joseph Aginlian.
Julia Rose Meredith.
Cade Thomas Metzger with highest distinction.
Linda Christine Presta.
James Vincent Ozato.
Grace Kendall Van Kampen.
Jack McGuire.
Alexandra Rose Tisto.
Ray Tucker.
Brooke J. Yale. Thank you.
Tyler Scott Kohanic.
Madison Nicole Waruenen.
Jack Michael Streeter.
Grace Elizabeth Deering.
Dylan Lucas Johns.
Chloe Lynn Patterson.
Caden Kledzik.
Malik Joseph Stevenson.
Adam Staples Brennan.
Roosevelt Knight III.
Max Michael Frizzell.
William Monroe.
Jacob Gehring Mitchell.
Richard Anthony Palumbo IV.
Joseph William Morris.
Andrew Luke Powell.
Daniel Hunter Brown.
Max Alexander Label.
Colin Henry Pengel.
Tudor Mihaila Nitzoy.
Ainsley Sheard.
Reet Oberoi.
Alexandra Mary Rudolph.
Addison Bundy.
Irma Amazerevich.
Christian Flynn.
Madeline Grace O'Neill.
Joseph Stracco.
Charlie William Pattinson.
William George Yurgay.
John Michael Norris.
Maxwell Ryan Bakken.
Margaret Grace Klimsrud.
Anjali Vishal Shah.
Braden Robbins.
Colby Eugene Swenson.
Evan Michael Kale.
Kyle Robert Fust.
Griffin John Reedy.
Henry Mills.
Nathan Lewis Cohen.
Connor Matson. Connor Mason Grandy.
Bradley David Rigg.
Yu Wei Lee.
Liam Michael Tully.
Annette Ray Kincaid.
Sean Patrick Gibbons.
Jessica Rose Wagner.
Jake Scott Engelberg.
Lauren Olivia Stevens.
Paul Edward Johnson.
Natalia Anna Murgas.
Reese Robert Martin.
Elizabeth Gorky.
Dylan Michael Straka.
Madeline Ray Northway.
Daniel Pappas.
Hannah Marie Whelan.
Nathaniel Jackson Mead.
Olivia Ray Sweeney Fahy.
Jack Timothy Plaguey.
Alexis Imor Moritz.
Reed Foster.
David Geronimo Consuelos.
Colton Hoyanish.
Alexis K. Wheeler.
Danielle Elizabeth Langen.
Elena Marie Mason.
Ava Marie Stotes.
Conrad James Miller Jr.
Jack Anderson with highest distinction.
Peyton Alexander May.
Andrew Joseph Clabernans.
Lindsay Joe Piper.
Taylor Mary Etzel.
Lindsay Lee Roth.
Olivia Madison Showman.
Jay Wilhite.
Peyton Nicole Roth.
Jada Monet King.
Callie Grace Lynch.
Elizabeth Zanka.
Natalie Ella Moore.
Katie Ann Michelle Shadle.
Cassandra Jo Willer.
Emily Stram.
Hayden Michelle Dunn.
Logan Manders.
Kylia Apenina.
Hayden Lewis Slinger.
Samuel Scott Pearson.
Connor John Mihar.
Ashley Carol Ferguson.
Jonah S. Lee.
Elena Elizabeth Chapman.
Max David Hansen.
Andrew Postma.
Weston Lee Roshuber.
Spencer Clay Schwantes.
Anthony Michael Beck.
Max Berg.
Justin Chuani Tang.
Dominique Joan Qualtier.
Jay Rathi.
Adeline Marie Catherine Dornick.
Amanda Jo Rivera.
James S. Reynolds.
Amanda Kate Lindgren.
Reed Lewis.
Edward Adam Lovell.
Brady Thomas Hamrick.
Molly Richard Nelson.
Kayla Jean Hahn.
Caitlin Marie Garton.
Sydney Bell Limpus.
Ella Rose Demare.
Tess K. Lorianne Hooten.
Emma Amato.
Aubrey Nickel.
Kaya Amber Ishu.
Elizabeth Mary McGarvey.
Hannah Larson.
Colin Maxwell Bear with University Honors and Distinction.
Michelle Kittleson.
Jacob Daniel Seliga.
Nicole Schiestel.
Scott Michael Anderson.
Megan Elizabeth Ignacfo.
Drew Anthony Bradley.
Lauren Whelan.
Dylan Robert Fouts.
Calvin William McIlvain with honors in economics.
Liam Brennan Buckley.
Chase Edward Eggins.
Nathan Lee Lane.
Carter Jacob Klein.
Maggie Helene Frederick.
Carson Peterson.
Tanner Rodiger.
Tatum Mauve Hosi.
Caleb Tanner.
Elizabeth Grace Shalopko with distinction.
Brett Anthony Crandall with University Honors and Distinction.
Jordan Elizabeth Dalberg.
Farah Nelson.
John Michael Barden with honors and distinction.
Alexandria K. Urick.
Merrick Elizabeth McBride.
Maya Elizabeth Gibbs with University Honors.
Faye Elizabeth Worksman.
Madeline Stewart Harrington.
Kaylee Cleary.
Alexandra Jean Heston.
Adeline Benedis with distinction.
Isabella Lily Willier.
Catherine Marie Stroud.
Alexa Lynn Martin.
Emma Merritt Madden.
Trey Wells Martin.
Meredith Cianta.
Brendan Michael Musig.
Mariah Audrey Hirsch.
Jack Raymond Abel with University Honors and Distinction.
Andrew Davenport.
Cade Robert McCain with highest distinction.
Anthony Stephen Collins.
Benjamin David Siernett with highest distinction.
Anders and Anthony Fisher.
Tyler Nikesh Cooper with distinction.
Kevin Michael O'Connell.
Josh White with distinction.
Hunter James O'Donnell.
Alexander Paxson.
Nathaniel Daniel LaRoche.
Kevin N. Schaefer.
Charles Joseph Steer.
Finn Adrian Holleran.
Matthew Michael Masick.
Tate Alexander Hoppel.
Robert Joseph Handel.
Brett Michael Hoyman.
Evan Peterson.
Carter Christopher Green.
Connor James Wright.
Jackson Lewis Goose.
Connor James Backen.
Arjav Tushar Patel.
Omar de los Santos with university honors.
Luke Charles Ambrosia.
Dominic Butaglia.
Sam Martin.
Dennis Winter.
Justin Alexander Howard.
Avery Elwood Hansen with university honors with distinction.
Christian Salgado.
Tyler Stephen Nocton.
Nolan James O'Heisel.
Morgan Anthony Dressel.
Hunter J. Wayne Kipston.
Matthew Craig Macbeth.
Jacob Robert Perez with university honors.
Paul David Rouse Jr.
Evan Schuster.
Andrew Carl Langhoff.
Michael Thomas Conley.
Jack McIntosh.
Dylan Hollub.
Nick Hobson.
Anthony Dazzo.
Luke Connick.
Benjamin Sabiani.
David George Powers.
Dylan Chase Norton.
Aiden Ward.
Alonzo Giovanni Reyes.
Patrick Graham.
Matthew John Wallace.
Daniel Silver Mazziro.
Luke Anthony Pasco.
Terry Goldberg.
Chloe Nicole Adams with highest distinction.
Nathan Snedek with university honors.
Brooklyn Shea McKee.
John Legittino.
Felipa Pedraza with distinction.
Parker Vrieslar.
Anna Catherine Dargan.
Iyun Young Park.
Chase Anthony Halschelt.
Matthew Jacob Murphy.
Noah Donato.
Drew Girac.
Owen Richard Schultz.
Joseph Vincent Ena.
Joe McKenna.
Noah Fulome.
Daniel James Kinchin.
Joshua Jackman.
Grant Nolan Reed.
Michael John Keogh.
Andrew Daly.
Reed Francis Carter.
Camden Charles Lee.
Tyler Baloo Diverkstein.
Jack Kilberg.
Samuel Joseph Peters.
Cal David Breeder.
Samuel Douglas Hawk.
Luke Holden Jennings.
Andrew Magner.
Andrew Jacob Bauer.
Addison Alexandra Perry.
Maxwell Vendolbo Nielsen.
Kelsey Moeller.
Benjamin James Brooks with highest distinction.
Rachel Redeker.
Jerry Armando Lopez Vasquez.
Brady Carlton Sexton.
Benjamin Dean Hochstetler.
Julia Nicole Necker with high distinction.
Jessica Royal Lynn Lewis.
Reese J. Archer.
Ariel Chummerly.
Riley Susan Ga.
Giovanni Hasso.
Caitlin Grace Sparber.
Jackson Edward Walhart.
Bailey Lynn Schaefer with high distinction.
Colby Schrader.
Tristan Ann Robinson.
Dalton Robert Deers.
Connor Jacob Fagan.
Ethan Ali.
Weishin Ku.
Bradenberg Hammond.
Feng Hao Lu.
Garrett John Borman.
Shang Yuan.
Nicholas Brian Schweitzer.
Yuan Zhang.
Jacob Pessinger.
Jinru Yang.
Samuel Starnes.
Zheng Zhou Zhao.
Caden Cole Lozano.
Ji Yun Yu.
Alejandro Munoz.
Yuihao Wang.
Nolan Thomas Perkins.
Yang Chen.
Dylan John Tracy with high distinction.
Shengshi Du.
Kyle John Fisher with highest distinction.
Scott Joseph Mayer.
Joshua Scott Thompson.
Nick Pagamiller.
Takiyoki Brian Oya.
Fletcher Mindrup.
Ali Abdullah Awahandi.
Julia Lucille O'Dekirk. Hi, congratulations.
Micah Jameson Frisbee with distinction.
Jamie Marie Jones.
Grace Lauren Schneider.
Jillian Kathleen Gaines.
Jacob Benjamin Brandt.
Bianca May Leewright.
Jack Sheridan.
Ashley Jordan Abdella Razike with distinction.
Michael Scott Rum.
Raghuvi Chandrasekharan.
Yash Patel.
Anika Aurora.
Madeline J. Brannigan.
Samuel Burke Shildroth.
Yoja Fung.
Trevor Joseph Lambers.
Kyle Lee Miller.
Isaac James Wright.
Carlson J. Rogers with high distinction.
Benjamin Michael Ondernick.
Braden Sankett with distinction.
Leo Jackson Moore with University Honors with distinction.
Elijah Michael Waltman with highest distinction.
Evan Mosher.
Cale Jonathan Waltman with highest distinction.
Calvin Moulton.
Simon Andrew Lofsgaard with highest distinction.
Dalton Lee Miller.
Nicholas J. Pavelka.
Maya K. Meredith with high distinction.
Hunter Leaf Grotelishin with high distinction.
Claire Ann Simmons.
Brenna Elizabeth McCrae.
Ashley Sapp.
Grace Johnson.
Ryan Rafferty.
Kevin John O'Shea Jr.
Justin Matthew Wheeler.
Nolan Sennett.
David Tran.
Jonah Gildevand.
Luke Passano.
Riley Dean James.
Alex Epstein.
Adam Michael Galvin.
John Vandervoort.
Zach Hendricks.
Keegan Sean Nagel.
Jordan R. Walters.
Maximus Samuel Gonzalez.
Ryan Koschel.
Joseph Alexander Lara.
Catherine Elizabeth Jones with University Honors and Distinction.
Eduardo Antonio Vega.
Jason Adam Bruner.
Fabian Carlos Vega.
Quinn Kitterman.
Jacob Marcellus Smith.
Eamon Harper.
Weston Drew Stark.
Nico John Migliarni.
Emiliano Paz.
Kyle Robert Hoskins.
Javier Fuentes.
Jacob Carl Conley.
John Reyes.
Daniel Francis Moran III.
Adam Ayman Al-Kadi.
Liam Reardon.
Charles Michael Ashley.
Martin Joseph Sheehan.
Jack Daly.
Adam Banathy.
Somit Vare.
Marissa Chavaria.
Patrick Ryan Foster with distinction.
John Michael Bucaro Jr.
Connor Michael Stablin.
Benjamin Coisiel.
Ryan Phil.
Nicholas Scott Favre.
Lauren Sophie Wilson with University Honors.
Michael Vavrinchek.
Audrey Lynn Graham.
Henry Whitfield.
Benjamin Richard Radel.
Terrence Michael Callahan Jr.
Jillian Villamek.
Caroline Lee Marshall.
Emma Athamondia Kirstein.
Fiona Patricia Fitzsimmons.
Matthew James Steinke.
Isabel Marie Dula with University Honors.
Samir Shehaber.
Kara Ann Verzani.
Patrick McNulty.
Ross Matthew Kaminsky.
Colin James Campbell.
John Staring O'Rourke.
Jason Peak. Blaze Reichert. Nicholas Campbell McGrath. Nicholas Philip Franco. Anthony Philip Abatalcola. Nick Barron. Mitchell James Anderson.
You did it. The turning of the tassel is the traditional gesture by which each student signifies passage from degree candidate to graduate. Will each of you now mark your new status by turning the tassel of your cap from the right side to the left side? Members of the faculty, Vice President Schultz, Dean Christoph Brown, I present to you the Tippie College of Business Class of 2024. We congratulate you all.
Congratulations, graduates. Today marks a personal milestone in your lives. You now have a Bachelor's of Business Administration degree from the University of Iowa's Henry B. Tippie College of Business. To accomplish this goal, you faced so many challenges. You made discoveries about yourselves and others, and you grew into leaders who will make a difference in our communities. In February of 2022, Henry Tippie passed away at the age of 95. Although he is no longer with us physically, his enterprising spirit, his deep sense of gratitude, and his commitment to excellence is alive and well in our college. Henry formalized his business and life philosophy into something called Tippie's Laws. You each have received a copy of them on a bookmark, and I encourage you to keep them with you, to take some of Henry's wisdom with you wherever you go. Tonight, I highlight two of those laws: every day is a fresh start, and operate with a sense of urgency. Tomorrow is a new start for you as college graduates. You have sacrificed much and worked toward a meaningful goal. You have earned the right to rest and rejuvenate, but also the privilege to go and do great things in this world. Whatever action you take, pursue excellence with urgency to make businesses, your community, and your relationships with others be strengthened and create something meaningful. Henry has done this for all of us here today, and I encourage you, maybe starting tomorrow, to find ways to make your positive impact on the world. We hope that in the years to come, you will fondly remember your time at Tippie, here in Carver-Hawkeye, and at the University of Iowa. Stay engaged with us in the years to come through our alumni events, through our Tippie YouTube channel, where you can find alumni panels with industry insights, and also some of your favorite professors. Your continued engagement with us as alumni through time, talent, and treasure will keep this college great, in the same way that the alumni have supported you while you were here. Congratulations and best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you, Dean Christoph Brown. And now, we will conclude today's commencement ceremony. I ask that everyone please remain seated for the recessional. The party platform will exit first, followed by the graduates. Congratulations, graduates. Will our new Tippie alumni please join friends and family on the concourse level? These proceedings are now adjourned.